us.
I need you to tell us why you decided to start this campaign. What is that thing that made you realize that enough was enough, whatever you are saying is enough, and that you needed to start this campaign?
It's literally one word, or maybe there are two, I'm not sure. But the word is fed up. I literally sat at my desk. I'd spent the day trying to raise school fees for my children, and it hadn't worked. And on my desk sits a Zimbabwe flag, the small one. And I looked at the flag and realized that if I had been in another country, I probably would have had a much greater chance of providing for my family. I came to the conclusion that what this flag stands for and where the country is right now are worlds apart. And so for me, the journey became, I want to reclaim and recapture the promise that this flag has for me as a Zimbabwean and for my children. That's how this flag started. It was a complete accident. At the time when I did the little video, I was complaining to my friends, and I sent them the video and I said, just have a look underneath. I don't know what else to do, but this country has let me down. That video went viral, and that's when I made the decision to say every Zimbabwean must now rise up to reclaim the dream and the promise that this flag promises us.
What is it about this campaign? What do you expect to achieve from carrying a flag, recording videos, and having people imitating you?
I think for me, the idea is to get the citizen to be bold enough. I made a quote the other day which summarizes the idea behind this flag, and it says this: if we cannot cause the politician to change, then we can inspire the citizen to be bold. In the duration of this movement, it's only been almost 2 weeks now. There are people that have never in their entire lives of being adults in this country, they have never spoken out against corruption, against injustice, and against poverty openly. They will do it behind closed doors whilst hiding. They've never done it openly. But for the first time, they were able to, first of all, like a video. Then they were able to comment on a video, and that's coming out. That's a form of coming out. They were able to share the video, and that's another step. They were able to record a video of themselves with the flag saying, I've had enough, and that's a step. And so for me, these are victories that are very critical in causing citizens to rise up and to say to the government, enough is enough, atichada and atichachka.
Just like other revolts that have happened in the past, people have demonstrated and people have spoken out, people have done different things. And to some extent, there has not been much change. And with this campaign, which is almost 2 weeks old, for how long do you intend to do this? And what if nothing happens? After so long, what will you do?
We're going on up until May 25 carrying our flags, but the movement exists even after May 25. But let me answer your question. So what is the goal, or where are we? I think I've answered the goal. We're getting people to be a little bit bolder. If nothing happens, I think we need to ask ourselves the questions, what did happen? Because the one thing you must understand about the way a government is run is that they watch the citizens. They may not listen, but they watch. And they have been watching this particular movement from the day it started until now, and they are still watching. I know that I am a person of interest for the state, and it's okay, because they're supposed to do that, to watch what a person is doing in case they create, in case they harm people. So in terms of where we are going, in terms of what if nothing happens, I don't think that there is a what if nothing happens, because something has already happened. It's too late to say what if nothing happens. Something is happening right now. And that thing that is happening is the awakening of people in Zimbabwe to become active citizens once again. So already we've succeeded. Now, some people want us to go on the street, but we have to be very careful with that. Okay? Because we may reinforce the very thing that we are trying to break, which is fear. And we're working some ideas that are going to cause this government to listen to the citizens and take note and say, these people mean business.
Carrying this flag with this campaign, you want something to happen. Can you please give us a list of things that you actually want to happen? What is it that you want to be done? What is it that you're expecting the government to do for its people or to its people?
I think first and foremost, the government needs to admit that they have failed us as a people. We don't want this issue of where they pretend that nothing has happened. Number one, if we are going to accept any changes that this government brings, number one, accept that we have failed the people of Zimbabwe. This is the only way that we as citizens are going to ever move along with this government in anything. Right now, I'm encouraging passive resistance for anything that the government launches that we're not happy, whether it's bond notes, I'm clear about it. The citizen says no. We all just don't want those things. So I would want the government to admit that you have failed us. Okay. Number two, I would want to see the government government begin to deal with public officials who have failed in their jobs decisively. If a person has failed to do what they're supposed to do for the citizen, they must be removed. That person has got to be removed. No two ways about it. Doesn't matter which party they belong to. Doesn't matter whether they fought the war or not. They must be removed and replaced with a competent person, period. And third and finally, this government is going to have to be accountable to its citizens. You can't hold us to ransom. You can't run away. You can't threaten us or intimidate us when we ask you questions. So those three things. Number one, admit you have failed. Number two, deal decisively with officials that have failed at their job. And number three, you are going to have to get used to being accountable.
By admitting, they can simply put a supplement in the paper and admit we have failed, we are sorry. What exactly do you want it to be the follow-up action to admitting?
The follow-up action is, where you have failed, mete out the justice that should be meted out. The individual that has failed must resign. They have got to be removed from the system. The system, and the government knows this, their system needs to be purged. We as citizens want people that are competent, not people that are political. It's competence before your political affiliation. This is what we are looking for. If we could have it our way, in fact, let me just put it to you this way. If we could have it our way, we would like to see a citizens' government in place. People who do not have any affiliation to a political party, so that we start to get things back on track. When people who are non-partisan are running the system, they act in the interest of the citizen. So in a nutshell, I would actually like to see the entire government replaced by a citizens' government so that we move things forward.